when you are preparing your property for sale, you may not realize that your choice of closing date can greatly influence your home selling process and even the selling price. In this video, we will look into the best time for closing of your home to make it appealing to the maximum number of qualified buyers. What is a closing date in real estate? The seller and buyer agree upon the closing date, which is set in the purchase agreement, and it's called a closing date. What is best time to get a home on the market? How long it will take to close a house sale? How early should I start selling my home? And what is the average closing time on a home? To answer these questions, understand the current market first. Is it a seller's or it's a buyer's market? Does it take a little longer to sell because it's a buyer's market, or maybe it's a balanced market? Not too long ago, buyers were willing to accommodate any closing because it was a heavily seller's market. I am making this video in November 2022, and the market has changed dramatically in the last 8 months since interest rates have kept rising. This year is different from previous years, and if you insist on closing in 30 days, you may dissuade some buyers from making an offer on your home because they may need more time to sell their homes. It may take longer to sell in today's market, and you should consider this. For example, a 60 to 90 days closing will give most buyers enough time. Keep in mind that letting your buyers you will consider a longer or shorter closing time is even more attractive. It is also essential to consider the time of the year. For example, traditionally, people who buy a family home during the late spring or summer want to get in before the fall school year begins. There are also other months of the year when buyers want to close by a specific date. When choosing your closing date, make sure it falls on a business day and choose something other than Monday or Friday. Both days tend to be busy, and if your buyer's funds are coming last minute, you may not be able to close the transaction on Friday. My favorite closing date is anything in the middle of the week. Let's say Tuesday to Thursday, with Wednesday being a good choice. It is also fairly common to move closing dates by a few days. If you need to adjust your closing, ensure your realtor knows about it as soon as possible and amend a new closing date with your buyers and their agent. There are steps involved in coordinating a new date. If everything goes well, buyers can move into your home on the closing date, usually after 5 p.m. Make sure you dispose of all trash and take all your belongings. Remember, trash bins belong to a property. Think carefully about setting closing dates and be prepared to be flexible. Being open to a quick closing appeals to those who need to move sooner. If you can, be as flexible as possible, and if you are yet to find your home, make closing longer, which means from 3 months to 5-6 months in today's market. We are facing twice less inventory on the market, which should be considered. Once you have a closing date set, circle the date on your calendar and be ready to celebrate. This date is when you are going to be a new homeowner. Make sure each party is prepared to close, and soon you will be settling into a new space called home. Happy moving! If you have any questions or comments, please drop them in the comments below. I have more videos about real estate in Toronto and York region, and I would like to suggest you watch this one next. Please hit the subscribe button and don't be a stranger.